O filho rejeitou a herança do pai milionário, o motivo deixou a família em choque. "I don't want any of this," said Tyler, pushing the documents back toward the lawyer. The law office fell into deadly silence. The entire family was there. Uncles, cousins, his stepmother, all staring in disbelief at the 27-year-old who had just rejected an inheritance worth $120 million. "Tyler, you can't be serious," whispered Mrs. Patricia, his stepmother, her voice trembling. "I'm dead serious. I don't want anything with my father's name on it." William Anderson had been one of America's most powerful tech entrepreneurs. Owner of a software empire that spanned across 3 continents, he had built his fortune from absolutely nothing. He started as a janitor at a small computer company and ended his life with wealth that few Americans had ever achieved. But William was known for more than just financial success. He was infamous for his ruthlessness, his obsession with market dominance, and his complete inability to show any human warmth. "Emotions are a luxury I can't afford," was his life motto. Tyler was the son from William's first marriage. His mother, Jennifer, had died in a car accident when Tyler was just 13 years old. From that moment on, the relationship between father and son became even more distant and toxic. "Tyler, your father worked himself to death building this empire," shouted Uncle Robert, William's younger brother. "You can't just throw it all away." "He didn't build this for me," Tyler responded with ice-cold calm. "He built it to feed his own ego. I was just an inconvenience in his perfect corporate world." His cousin Madison, who had always resented Tyler's position as primary heir, exploded. "You're being ungrateful. Do you have any idea how many people would kill for an inheritance like this?" "Then you can all have it. I don't need it." Mr. Stevens, the family attorney for over 20 years, tried to intervene. "Tyler, son, maybe you should think this through more carefully. This decision is irreversible." Tyler stood up and walked to the window overlooking downtown Manhattan. His mind drifted back to his childhood. He was 10 years old when he tried to show his father a robot he'd built from Lego blocks. William was on a conference call with investors from Silicon Valley and simply waved him away without even looking. At 14, Tyler won first place in a national coding competition. He rushed home, excited to share the news with his father. William was reviewing quarterly reports and barely glanced up. "That's nice. Now go do your homework. I have real work to do." At 17, Tyler tried to discuss studying social work instead of computer science. William slammed his laptop shut. "You'll study business and technology, and that's final. I'm not raising a social worker." "You want to know why I'm rejecting this inheritance?" Tyler turned to face his entire family. "Because every dollar of this money cost me a piece of my childhood. Every company acquisition, every merger, every business deal was more important to my father than his own son." The tension in the room was suffocating. Tyler continued. "When my mother was dying in the ICU after the accident, do you know where my father was? In a board meeting finalizing the purchase of a competing software company. She died calling his name, and he showed up for hours after she'd already passed away." Mrs. Patricia, who had married William 7 years after Jennifer's death, tried to defend him. "Your father loved you, Tyler. He just didn't know how to express it." "Love? You know the only time my father ever hugged me? At my college graduation, in front of 800 people. And it was a 5-second hug for the cameras." I took a deep breath and revealed something no one in the family knew. "You want to know the absolute truth? 2 years ago, when the doctors told my father he had pancreatic cancer and only months to live, do you know what his first words to me were?" They waited in tense silence. He said, "Tyler, you need to quit this social work nonsense immediately and take over the companies. I don't have time for your bleeding heart games." The family was stunned. Tyler continued. "I became a social worker, because I want to heal the damage that fathers like mine inflict on their children. I want to be for those kids what my father never was for me, someone who listens, who cares, who's actually present. Tyler looked directly at the attorney. Mr. Stevens, I want this entire inheritance converted into a foundation that will create free counseling centers for children from broken families. It will be called the Jennifer Anderson Foundation, in honor of my mother. The room erupted in family protests, but Tyler raised his hand demanding silence. My mother always said that the greatest gift we can give the world is emotionally healthy children. This inheritance is going to make that happen. And there's something else you don't know, Tyler said, pulling an envelope from his jacket. During my father's final week, when he was too weak from chemotherapy to get out of bed, he called me to his private hospital room. I thought we were finally going to have that father-son conversation we never had. Tyler opened the envelope and pulled out the handwritten letter with shaky handwriting. Instead, he gave me this letter. Want to know what it says? Tyler began reading. Tyler, if you're reading this, it means I'm already dead. I need you to understand that everything I built was to secure your financial future. I never knew how to be a loving father, but I knew how to be a successful provider. Your biggest mistake would be to waste all of this. Don't be sentimental like your mother. Be practical like me. In the end, only money and power matter. Tyler folded the letter and looked at everyone in the room. You think he was being loving, right? That he was finally opening up to me? Tyler pulled another document from the envelope, but there was this attached to the letter. It was a will dated 3 years earlier. Tyler read, I leave my entire fortune to my son Tyler with the absolute condition that he assumes control of the family businesses and continues to expand my corporate legacy. Should he refuse this responsibility or choose another profession, the entire inheritance must be donated to charitable organizations. The family was shocked into silence. Tyler smiled sadly. My father never changed. Even from the grave, he was trying to control me, force me to live according to his expectations. But you know what? I'm going to do exactly what he least expected. I'll donate everything, but because of my choice, not his emotional blackmail. Tyler addressed Mr. Stevens. Mr. Stevens, I want this entire inheritance converted into the Jennifer Anderson Foundation immediately. And I want the first counseling center built in the poor neighborhood where my father grew up, where his own mother worked as a seamstress to make ends meet. Tyler, Mrs. Patricia made one last attempt. Are you absolutely certain? This is so much money. Mrs. Patricia, you married my father 8 years ago. In all that time, how many times did you visit me? How many times did you remember I existed when it was not about money or inheritance? Mrs. Patricia had no answer. 10 months later, the first Jennifer Anderson Foundation Center was inaugurated. Tyler was there, surrounded by 180 children from the community, their families, and a team of volunteer counselors.
In his opening speech, Tyler declared, "My father believed that money and power were the only things that mattered in life. Today, I prove he was completely wrong. What really matters are the smiles of these children, the trauma we're going to heal, the families we're going to help rebuild." An 8-year-old girl approached Tyler and asked, "Mister, is it true that you were super rich and gave everything away to build this place for us?" Tyler knelt down to her level and smiled. "No, sweetheart. I was never truly rich before. I only became really rich when I found my purpose helping children like you." Today, 5 years later, the Jennifer Anderson Foundation has established 28 counseling centers and has helped over 6,200 children. Tyler continues working as a social worker, now volunteering at the centers he helped create. The family never contacted him again, but Tyler doesn't care at all. He's found a new family, his young clients, grateful parents, his fellow counselors. And every night before bed, Tyler looks at his mother's photograph on his nightstand and whispers, "Mom, I think I finally understand what you meant about true wealth." Tyler discovered that rejecting his father's inheritance wasn't a loss. It was the greatest victory of his life, because he learned that the real legacy we leave in this world isn't material possessions, but the lives we touch and transform. And that sometimes, to truly honor the memory of those we love, we must have the courage to choose a path completely different from what others expected of us. This story hits me hard because it shows that not everything that looks like a blessing really is one. Tyler could have kept $120 million, but he chose something infinitely more valuable: his peace of mind and his life's purpose. If this story touched you, it's because you also understand that real success isn't measured by what we accumulate, but by the good we do in the world. Hit like if this moved you, and tell me in the comments, have you ever had to choose between money and your values? How did you handle it? Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep hearing stories that show the greatest treasures in life are priceless. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.